finally then, Aston Villa have managed to do the impossible and get past the third round of the FA Cup. Middlesbrough 0, Aston Villa 1. Villa are through to the fourth round of the FA Cup and finally break the 7-year-long curse that has besieged us going forward. Now, let's be real. First and foremost, for 85 minutes of that game, it is pure dross to watch. An absolute boring game of football that, quite frankly, I'm never going to look back and reminisce on. Even when we talk about it, like, we finally got past the third round, I'm never going to go back and look at this game because, quite frankly, there is no need to. Nothing happened throughout that game. First half, we were pretty much the more dominating team against Middlesbrough, with a few chances here and there, but quite frankly, nothing to really show off. And it was much of the same in the second half. Obviously, we made 4 substitutions. And ultimately, in the 85th minute, a set piece from a corner, Cash on the edge of the box, massive deflection, but ultimately it's managed to go in bottom corner, and Villa have managed to achieve a victory away at Teesside. There's not really much to say to it. Like I said, because just nothing happened in the game. Villa were the more dominating team. Although Middlesbrough here and there were trying to get forward, it was ultimately Villa that were showing their better quality in the sense of players, and ultimately managing to really establish a foothold in the game for the 90 minutes when you're away from home, which is something that we needed to do, given the calibre and the team that we did put out, which was fairly strong to be fair, with obviously the odd rotation. But nothing came of it in terms of a goal. We were no real way near close enough. I think probably throughout the game, the only closest chance that we did have was the Konza corner. Konza heads it in, and you're thinking it's going in, but it's just hit on the inside of the bar and out. So it's just like, what? You think we're just there? You're just celebrating like it's gone in, but it's cleared away. But apart from that, I was here ready to make the video that, quite frankly, would have been a lot more scathing in the sense of, not only can we still not get past this third round, we're now having to do a replay, which I don't know if it would have been a replay. I think it would have been a replay, given the stage, but who knows. Sorry, ill. But obviously, Villa would ultimately get that goal from Matty Cash and finally send themselves into the fourth round. Thank the bloody Lord. Now, for me, I don't think I really want more to discuss about with this reaction rather than the match, because, like I said, there's just nothing really much to talk about here. What it has shown is the depth and what we need to be doing in this January transfer window. Now, obviously, the main real talk behind Aston Villa right now at the moment has been about John Duran. John Duran possibly going to AC Milan. Now, I'm going to say I like John Duran. I think, quite frankly, start of the season as well, especially the games like Crystal Palace, there is a player there that he's going to be someone good. But we've also got to consider his age. And we've also got to consider the fact that this is a kid that probably wants game time. And compared to someone like Ollie Watkins, who we've been heavily reliant on since his arrival to the club for a few years now, John Duran doesn't have much of a place in the starting 11, which is a shame. Now, it was a surprise to see him in the starting lineup tonight, given what had been reportedly held in talks with AC Milan. They're interested in a loan with the option to buy. Duran, the player himself, is interested, but Villa really don't want to sell him. The one, there's some stuff here and there, conflicting reports. For me, what it has shown is if Villa are, if there is truth behind this, going on this game alone, I would just say let him go. Let him go. Let him see if he really does think he can get it. Bear in mind, if he's not getting it here, I don't personally see he's going to get it at AC Milan. We're a team that have got so much good calibre players and are doing so well for themselves. I don't really see him breaking through an AC Milan team. It might come through for the future for him, but, it also comes down to the fact that we also need a suitable replacement. Now, there are players out there that have been linked with Villa, and there's possibilities that we could go for. But I would say let him go. But he really does highlight that with the team that we did put out tonight and the substitutions that were apparent to make, there needs to be more depth. I know we're struggling with injuries, and I know there's players that are going to come back, but we need more depth. We need more out wide. We're going to need another striker, obviously, all dependent on John Duran, and defensively, it needs some work there. So that is what I'd like to see come through in this January transfer window. But, like I said, you're not going to get everybody done. There has been talks that perhaps it's more a case of we'd only get them in if players are shifted out. So the likes of perhaps Callum Chambers, Bertrand Traore, Timo Rogoban, players like that need to be moved on. We've already saw Vinicius has been moved on. I think he would have been a massive benefit for Middlesbrough tonight had he got that opportunity to play. But like I said, if we're going to be shifting out players like that, we need to be bringing players in, and I think that's something that needs to be addressed fairly soon. Next game, obviously, is Everton next week, so there is another whole week's rest period. I'd like to think at least progress on a player, or perhaps even a signing will be made from then. The only one being the one from Verona, I want to say, the Belgian winger. But we'll have to see what happens there. So, yeah, not pre-game football, nothing really much to talk about. But like I said, what do you want to see going ahead towards next week's game to to Everton? What do you want to see change from there? And obviously, your thoughts and comments down below on the video for this one. But without further ado, we will see you for that game next week. Up the Villa with the Pride of Villa. See you later, boys.